what happens sometimes is the author who says, you know what, I just want to have something to say, and I want to get this book out. I don't care if I sell a lot of books. I'm not trying to be famous. And then because they have this great network, they sell up to like 250 books. Mm-hmm. And then everyone starts telling them, oh my God, you're great. You need to make this book into a business. Maybe you could win awards. You could blow up. This could be your source of income.
Going to bring on my next guest, Miss Cherrie Woods. Oh my goodness, she didn't change the look. Hey, I see you.
Gotta change up sometimes.
I like it. It's cute.
Thank you.
So first of all, I think I've been trying to get you on this show for a while. So I'm very glad that we were able to make it happen. You are such a wealth of information when it comes to promotion and PR and marketing, and we're trying to do some things. So we're gonna be talking not just tonight, but we're gonna be talking soon. But I'm saying all of this, but I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Cherrie Woods with the new hair. I have been in public relations, marketing, community outreach professionally for about 25 years, and specifically in book publicity for about 8 years. I guess this is going on 9 years. And not only do I work with individual authors, I've worked with over 100 individual authors, but I also do workshops, PR workshops for authors. And I've presented those workshops at conferences, book festivals, professional associations, like the Maryland Writers Association, Black Writers Guild. So I've been around a while. And I also have written a PR book or a guide called Where Do I Start? 10 PR Questions and Answers for Self-Published Authors, because I really started out mostly working with self-published authors or hybrid published authors. But interestingly enough, in the last few years, traditionally published authors are also hiring me because, as we know, with the big book explosion, a lot of even the bigger companies just don't have the funds to do promotion, PR marketing for even authors who've been traditionally published. So
I think that's
we need additional help.
I think that's a really big misconception when it comes to getting traditionally published. So many self-published authors think that, and when they get a publisher, they can just lean back and wait for the royalties to come in. I'm good now. I'm published, but they don't realize, and the publishing companies have changed. Even when I first became an author 20 years ago, there were certain authors who were getting they were getting their publishers to pay for tours, and they were getting all of this publicity. Their publishers were making push cards and everything for them. That budget has been cut, and one thing is that if you do get signed with a publisher, they want to know what you've been able to do on your own.
Yes, they ask you about your platform, how many social media channels do you have, and how many are on the channels, and what's your network like, and do you have an email list? So even those things up front, before getting published, they're asking, what's your author platform?
Right. And then even after you've gotten published, you can't stop. You still have to get out there and hustle, just like the self-published authors do.
Pretty much.
Or else you might get dropped.
I think the one thing that, let me not say the one thing, but one of the advantages of being traditionally published is probably more the distribution that you get as a traditionally published author. But, there are authors out here who are, they are out here, they are making the calls, they're making the connects, and they're getting, big sales, just like traditionally published authors. So
absolutely. So in your book, I'm sorry, can you tell me the title one more time?
Where Do I Start? 10 PR Questions and Answers to Guide Self-Published Authors. Long name.
It says it all. We have the link up right here. So you can click on this book. I'm going to be clicking on this book myself because even though I've been in the game for quite a while, like I said, things are constantly changing. So
They really are.
and I think that's a lesson for everybody. You might have been doing this for a while. You might be a good author. You might be a great writer, but there's always something that you can learn or something that you can even remind yourself of. So I'm looking forward to reading this because there are a few things that I want to remind myself of.
Yeah, and even I have to read it sometimes, and I'm actually probably later this year putting out a second edition just to update some of the changes. I mean, there's so many things that have happened and are happening now that authors need to be aware of. So I'm going to be actually doing a second edition later this year.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, tell me like one or two of the reminders that you have in the book that people should be aware of.
So just things like, I think the biggest thing for me, even when I get clients now, is starting with that basic question: why did you write your book?
Yes.
And I ask that because many authors, some research has pretty much shown that authors write books for three reasons. One, just because they have something to say, or maybe they want to leave a legacy, because many of my clients are retired and it's something that they've always wanted to do. They want to leave a legacy. And so you'll see a lot of those authors sometimes writing a memoir, something to leave for their children, something to say they were here. So that's a legacy, or they just have always wanted to share some important information with the world. And then the second reason is you're just a really good writer. You're passionate about being an author. That's something you've wanted your whole life. You want to be traditionally published, and you're putting in the time and you're taking the classes and you're really learning the craft. And then third is you want to establish your brand. So you're out here doing your thing, and you know what? Let's face it, having a book out is going to add to my brand. It's going to give me more credibility. It's going to make people take me more seriously. And it does. And so this book is just another spoke in the wheel in your whole brand and your business. So those are three top reasons. What happens sometimes is the author who says, you know what, I just want to have something to say, and I want to get this book out. I don't care if I sell a lot of books. I'm not trying to be famous. And then because they have this great network, they sell up to like 250 books. And then everyone starts telling them, oh my God, you're great. You need to make this book into a business. Maybe you could win awards. You could blow up. This could be your source of income. That's a challenge because the book that they published with just something to say, or, you know, I just want to do this, may not be the same book that could be their source of income, because they didn't necessarily, usually self-published, they didn't necessarily follow the steps that makes a book a source of income. So that's one of the challenges that some authors have when they come to work with me. We've got to take that book apart. Maybe it wasn't professionally edited. The book cover is not following the trend for that genre. Sometimes they don't even know the genre they've written in. So there's a whole
trends for that genre.
Exactly. So now we've got to make that book a source of income. And so that's where my doctoring skills and my team comes in, because we're essentially doing over the book.
Well, I don't know if you saw that comment that we just flashed on the screen. He said his retirement plan is publishing a book, but after the book is not out now, it's changed 360 degrees. So yeah, sometimes your why changes. You know, maybe you said, I don't care how many books I sell, and then you sell a bunch of books, like, wait a minute, I might be able to make it.
This could be big. This could be a source of income. And that happens a lot. And then the frustration kicks in because they're realizing, wait, I've kind of plateaued at that 250 books. And it's all people that I knew. How do I get past that? How do I get past that number?
Now, with that being said, something else I've seen a lot in the author community, they get upset because they don't feel that they have the support of their friends and family. But if you've written one book, maybe two books, and your family has already bought that book, they don't know what else to do. They can't keep buying the book.
Right, right. And also,
So,
not all our family members are readers.
And
so
not all of our family members are going to be our target audience.
Exactly. They may not even enjoy your genre. They're buying that book more to support you. My friend wrote that book, or my dad or my aunt, but that's not the genre they necessarily read. And so that's why another step is really knowing who your target reader is. Yes. So that you're not wasting your time. And people will say, I want everyone to read my book.
Everybody is your target audience.
It's not going to happen. There's about 4 million books being published every year right now. About 3 million of those are self-published or hybrid published. It's got a large playing field. So not everyone's going to read your book. So who is most likely to read your book? And there's so much research done on that. And if you pay attention to other authors in your genre, first of all, know your genre and look at the traditionally published authors who write in your genre and see who's reading those books. And that's probably your audience as well, or your reader base as well.
Now, when you speak of genre, I think also we can't just say that.
I know.
Fiction
what is a genre?
Yeah.
So high level, there are 3 genres: fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. I happen to be a poet as well. And now here's the challenge. Under those genres, there's subgenres. So obviously under fiction, there can be mystery, romance, sci-fi, fantasy, a whole number of subgenres. Under nonfiction, could be self-help, business, memoirs, a whole bunch. But you've got to understand which genre you're under and which subgenre, because it helps you identify your reader base. And I'll just say, when you're in the book world, I had to learn all of the terms, and I'm still learning. It's important to be able to talk the talk, particularly when you're out there networking with other authors, because we don't know who the author beside us at a vending event is. And, they might be able to get you into a bookstore because they have some contacts, and they might say, well, what's your genre? Or they connect with a bookstore, and the bookstore says, oh, tell us about your genre, who you think your target readers are, to help them decide if they want to bring your book into the store. And you have no clue. That's not an option. So
you still think everybody's your reader.
Yeah, you've got to be knowledgeable about the business side of being an author. And that includes the language.